So, hello there, my hearties, and we have returned. We returned to the seas with Cat and Pete. Cat and Pete here to play Dungeon Hero. Very fine game. A fine game worthy of a captain of the seven seas. And today we will continue our adventures upon the Lost Island. Now, Captain Pete is feeling a bit funny because he foolishly ate a whole packet of Pringles in 6 minutes to see if he could. And he did. But there's a lot of salt in those. A lot of the sodium, as they call it. And that was quite a shock to the system. But anyway, Captain Pete's going to continue with his adventures. And we can see what happens to Captain Pete on camera. Does he pass out or does he keep playing? So, the last time we were adventuring, we came across some animals in a big pool drinking at the bottom of some cliffs, if I remember rightly. And as we were then watching those animals, they all ran away. And as they ran away, a panther attacked us. And then we went and explored some ruins, if I remember toply. And we found some big statues of like elfy sort of people. Elfy chaps it were. And what those elfy chaps we ended up bumping into an elf patrol. And we got into a bit of a fisticuffs with that elf patrol. And now we're about to go continuing exploring this island. Now with us, we have our companions. So we do. There's 5 sailors who came from our ship. Yes, I have a different headscarf on, and I don't know what it looks like because I'm also using a different camera. And so what we now have to do is we now have to roll our advance. So let's roll our advance. We got a 5. And what does that take us to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't know if you've watched any of the other ones with Dungeon Heroes, but it's a fine little game that comes on these zines. And it's a simple game of using some dice to roll some stories that come out of little sentences on a piece of paper, and you just read them off. And so what we've encountered is, as we've left that battle with those the hunter elf patrol, what we've happened to do is that noise. That was quite a noisy battle, you see, because it was. I think we have to blame Captain Pete's flintlock. His flintlock was quite a noisy flintlock because it wasn't an expensive flintlock. No, it was quite a cheap one. I got it for Christmas. So what we come across is, as we're walking through the bushes and the vines come down from the top, and we're all going, shh, bosun, shh, and he's going, all right, Captain, shush. We hear some leaves crinkling ahead of us, and there's a snap of a twig. And then coming out of the bush, big burly elf, so it is. It is a warrior elf patrol. So how we deal with this is they've got a threat of 8, so they do. These warrior elves, they're quiet. Oh. So this warrior elf patrol, with their 8 threat, they have a D10. So let's put a D10 on the board. We've got a D10 for them. And the animals, which was quite a few advances back, it's a D8. So let's find a D8. That's there. My voice has gone all northern. Now, because we're getting into a fight with these warrior elves. Oh, just to remind you, Cat and Pete. Oh, yes, Cat and Pete. Cat and Pete has only got 12 stamina left. But 23 health, 23 resolve. I like the use of the word resolve in the last story. It seemed to have a bit more of a evocative for what the value stands for. Your ability to keep on going. Anyway, we've got 23 health, resolve, and 12 stamina. Health is for damage, which you'll see in a minute, I'm sure. And stamina allows you to re-roll 1 die. Not dice, die, singular. I'm an educated captain from an educated family. They just never taught me how to say educated properly. So we've got 3 treasures. And now what we now choose is we've got to choose some of our traits. I'm going to keep doing the voice as long as I can. So we will pull out the trusty flintlock. which gives us a D12. Now let's see, what have we got? I've got athletic dodging. I don't know how long I've sustained the voice for. It keeps slipping. I think what Captain Pete should have done is he should have used his bottle of rum. So Captain Pete is going to pull out a bottle of rum and use the upside down bottle as a fending off weapon. So we then say, what we then say is we then clash your heads, us and those elf warriors, and we see that, so one of the warriors pulls back his bow. He's only got a short bow because they're elves. Pulls back his bow and he's about to release it as Warrior Pete, Captain Pete, the warrior of the high seas, flings his bow right up the bloke's noggin and does 3 points of damage, knocking their I've forgotten the word. Their threat from 8 down to 5. Because Captain Pete, he can beat any warrior elves is out there. Any of you warrior elves are out there, Captain Pete will go against you as long as he's got his lads with him and you're on a desert island. Don't come to his house. Don't come to Captain Pete's house. He doesn't want to know. He's too busy eating Pringles. So Captain Pete will then, they round about and the warriors start to try and encircle the pirates. But we're pirates and we know how to have a scrap. And so Bosun Jim and little cabin boy Timmy, who I don't remember what his name was last time, they start to pounce on one of the elf warriors in their leather and their feathers in their hair, and they've got all this face paint on. And Captain Pete and his crew, we just go, what you got the face paint on for, lad? I can see where you are. And we charge in. And this one wasn't so... we got a win. But it might be worth spending... Because this D12 come up a 1. If we spend 1 stamina, mind you, it needs to beat a 7, which it probably would. But we've already beat the 7 with an 8. So we might just say, we'll count it as that and save it. Doing 1 extra threat to the Elven Warriors. So what happens is the Elven Warriors, one of them has got little cabin boy Timmy cornered against a tree. And little Timmy's there with his little fists up. And the rest of the lads are going, go on Timmy, go on. We're not helping. We're just saying, go on Timmy. As the warrior comes charging forwards. Ah, he says in elf language. Ah, and goes running straight into a branch because Timmy's quite small, so he wasn't paying attention and does himself 1 damage. Now, due to that, we're all laughing. Oh God, did we laugh? But not for long because there's these warriors that we've got to fight. That's a good one. That's a good one. So, Captain Pete, he spots who the leader of the warriors is. And being as Captain Pete is a good old fighter, he sneaks around the back, picks up a big lump of wood and whacks it on the top of his head when he's not looking. And that fella hits the ground like a sack of taters, which is a shame really, because we could have all done with a plate of chips. But we couldn't have chips, nor any Pringles, not again. Because that warrior, he goes down. The rest of his mates get a little bit shocked. We give them a pummeling, kick them back into the forest and go, don't you come bothering us again. Because that did 5 points of damage. So, these jungles are full of bloody people. You go wandering around the Straits of Southport, you can't find anyone to borrow £5 off of. Out in the jungle, they're everywhere. So, we do another advance. Oh, we got a treasure for that. I always forget this. We got a treasure for that one. So that gives us 4 treasures. So what we're doing, we're rummaging through their pockets, the ones that are left, before we kick them into the jungle. What's this called? I can't remember what it's called. Retcon. That's it. Retcon. 4. 1, 2, plot point. I'm gonna break into a bit of a fancy voice. You wouldn't use this voice if you had the choice. But some people don't have a choice. It's what they're given.
Suddenly, you're surrounded by a small army of elves. Not the high-browed and graceful elves of the mainland, but hunched-over elves, wearing rags and brandishing crude spears. We've just met a whole bunch of them. They herd you into a large building where a stern-looking elf sits on a makeshift throne. They speak in guttural tones, arguing with none of the decorum of their mainland cousins, and soon they seem to have come to a decision. You're knocked unconscious. When you awaken, you're tied to a post of a strange part of the island, and something large is approaching.
So, our next challenge. So we've got animals drinking still, which is a D8, and our new one, which is a plot point one, so we can't escape it, is a D12. Free yourself from bonds. D12. Where's the D12, lad? There you are, lad. It's this depth perception. It makes it quite difficult finding dice. It looks like a drawing on a flat, but it doesn't really. So, it looks like we should free ourselves. So what have we got that we could free? We could use the bottle. Broken bottle. Cut the bonds. That makes sense. D8. Now, I'd love to use the flintlock because that's a D12, but I don't know if we can. So, how about, I don't think singing sea shanties will help. I've got a sharpened stick, that might help, D6. Do you think, between you and me, fella, do you think, don't tell anyone else, do you think we could use, without it being too sly, athletic dodging? Do you think we could use that, athletic dodging? We could say that we're, a bit of ASM. Is it ASM? ASMR? When you do the whispering in your ears, that thing. With my silky tones, I'm going to whisper, can I use athletic dodging? And you're all saying, yes, Captain, you can, Captain. Whatever you choose, Captain. Good lads. D10. So, we start to wiggle and jiggle and see if we can get this broken bottle and my athletic frame. Do you like my pirate shirt? See if we can escape. Oh no! Well, we can use... Oh, it's getting quite tiring, but we're going to utilise... Oh, utilise, that's a good word. We're going to utilise one of our stamina, taking our stamina to 11, to re-roll this D12. And it's a 4, which means that we've got a difference of 3. Outstanding, as my old captain used to say before I killed him in his sleep. So, using my lithe frame, I'm sweaty as all heck. I slip out of the ropes and then use my broken bottle to free the lads. Come on, lads. Hush. Try to be sneaky. Well, grease your peg leg then, peg leg.
Suddenly, a nightmarish creature emerges from the jungle. It is an enormous bird-like reptile with rows... It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex? With enormous bird-like reptile with rows of pointy teeth. You recall the scholars positing, I've only got one eye, its existence from bones. They called it Tyrannosaurus Rex. If you freed yourself from the bonds, advance 2. Otherwise, advance 1 and advance 1 for the following advancement. Okay, so advance 2. So, luckily we don't have to fight the Tyrannosaurus Rex. We've got... So we're now on 35. D8, flee into the jungle. So that gave us... So we keep the last advance, which is the D12, and it's a different D8 for flee into the jungle. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I forgot myself there, didn't I? Can't do that. So, I'm pretty sure, lads, sorry, crew. I'm pretty sure crew, because I am, if anything, as a pirate captain, I am accepting and I am welcoming. I will steal the treasure from anyone. I am not fussy. Navigate by compass, not campus. Not a university student. Navigate by compass or stars. D10. What else? I do have a dapper hat. I haven't found much use for my dapper hat. How about sniff out treasure? Athletic dodging. Oh, we could utilise athletic dodging. It does say flee into the jungle. Ooh. Athletic dodging it is. Thank you very much for that suggestion, you said that. That's another D10. And away we go into the jungle, crashing through the jungle as we can hear this loud thumping behind us and a gnashing of some bloody big teeth. Okay. As we start running through the jungle, we're very quiet and sneaky. We go, ah! We run through the jungle, and that noise, it must have little delicate ears. He can't hear us, and in fact it puts him off a bit, because we start to hear the sound drift into the background as we're starting to run into the jungle. Now hopefully we don't run into anything horrible, because I've looked ahead and there's a lot of horrible stuff. So we will do another advance. A 6. Oh, yeah. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no! Oh no, lads. Whilst fleeing through the jungle, a couple of the lads run straight. Oh, the D8. It's a weird one, isn't it? If I remember rightly. What's that? That's the D12. That's the D8. Weird D8. Pretty, but weird. We run smack bang into this big bush. Well, almost like a field it is. Of horrible. Apart from if you stick them in a stew and then they're quite nice. Horrible stinging nettles. Oh yeah, hope there's some dock leaves around here somewhere. You can use dock leaves to get rid of the sting. So, what can we do? Bottle of rum, spare bottle of rum. We'll get out the spare bottle of rum to try and numb the pain of all these stinging nettles. And then I think I'm going to use the dapper hat. I think we could use navigating by compass, but I want to use the dapper hat. Maybe Captain Pete takes his D8 dapper hat and sort of uses it, the felt of the dapper hat, to rub it all over the stings. Oh yes. Do you know, I ordered a hat, a tri-point hat off of Amazon. I did. It's not turned up yet. Hopefully it'll turn up, because I've also got Pirate Borg coming. Gonna play a campaign of that. Anyway, less of my nonsense. Let's talk about these nettles. Into the nettles we have to go to, because we're being pursued. We've got 2 8s. This is a nice example of this mechanic. In this mechanic, what happens is the matching ones you keep. If they're the top numbers and you're tied, as it were, you keep and you get rid of the rest. You go get rid of you, and then you re-roll the matches, and hopefully you win. I don't think that's a win. I only rolled a 2. Oh no, we rolled a 6. So what we'll do is we're going to take 4 points of damage, which puts us down to 19 resolve, 19 health. As Captain Pete is protecting his arms with his hat and he's completely forgotten about his legs. He has. Because Captain Pete has gone through the rum at a rate of knots. And Captain Pete and the lads are all going through and they're going, Captain, yes lads. Captain, yes lads. Lads, Can we stop standing in these nettles and get out, please, Catherine? Oh, God, yes, we can. And out we go. So, stinging nettles. Now, no matter what I roll, the next one's a plot point. Thank God for that, because my voice is going.
You manage to escape the terrifying thunder lizard. You hear it pounding off in another direction, bellowing. Panting, you look around and begin to appreciate just how different the flora and fauna is here. Like it's almost from another time. Plants look odd and primitive. Massive herbivores poke their heads out of the large canopy, lazily chewing entire tree branches. Suddenly you realise how quiet it has gotten. Peering into the jungle, you see 2 eyes peering back.
That was me, Captain Pete, reading a plot point in a funny voice. So now you're going to have to wait till the next episode because it went too long. So I cut it in half. So you just run along and enjoy Talk Like a Pirate Day 2023. Goodbye to you. Happy sailing.